Welcome students. So in today's class we shall be starting with our next subvitamin of vitamin B complex, that is biotin, commonly known as vitamin B7, or sometimes you will see in books it is also mentioned as vitamin H, and it is also known as anti-egg white injury factor. Anti-egg white injury factor. So these are the synonyms of vitamin B7 or biotin. So it is named having 4 different names. So what is the main function of this? It participates in the as a coenzyme in carboxylation reactions. So the main function is it participates as a coenzyme in the carboxylation reactions. So this is the main function of biotin. So now let us first see the chemistry of biotin. So it is mainly, we can say it is a sulfur containing B complex vitamin, and it is a heterocyclic sulfur containing monocarboxylic acid also. So it's basically formed by fusion of imidazole and thiophene rings. So together they tend to form biotin. So how this is formed, let us see the structure first. So we all know that imidazole is a nitrogen containing 5-membered heterocyclic ring. So students, this is the structure of imidazole ring, whereas it will be joining with the sulfur containing thiophene ring. So it is also a 5-membered heterocyclic ring containing the sulfur known as thiophene. So here you can see. So students, these are the 2 basic ring structures that are fused together. This is the imidazole ring, and this is the thiophene ring. Now as a coenzyme, we can see that this nitrogen, that is I am highlighting here with the blue colored arrow, this acts as a site for carbon dioxide binding. So at this place the carboxylation reaction initiates, whereas this carboxylic group binds with the lysine in enzymes. So particularly this binds with the lysine. So now you can clearly see the structure of biotin here. I hope the chemistry of biotin is clear to you all. Now let us start with the biochemical functions. Now let us see the biochemical functions first. So the first and the most important biochemical function is the conversion of pyruvate into oxaloacetate. So it is a biotin dependent pyruvate carboxyl dependent reaction that occurs in the presence of enzyme pyruvate carboxylase. Let us see. First is in case of gluconeogenesis. So we all know that gluconeogenesis is the formation of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, and it is linked to citric acid cycle as oxaloacetate is formed in this. So let us see how this reaction proceeds. So in this reaction, the pyruvate is converted into oxaloacetate in presence of biotin, and the name of enzyme that is used here is pyruvate carboxylase. Now here you can see this is an important coenzyme. The next is in synthesis of fatty acids. Now for the fatty acid synthesis, we can see the acetyl coenzyme is the starting material, and the first step is the conversion of the acetyl coenzyme A into mannoline coenzyme A. So this occurs in the presence of biotin. So let us see here. The acetyl coenzyme A is converted into malonyl coenzyme A, and this all occurs in the presence of biotin. And the enzyme involved is acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase. So here you can see the biotin is acting as a coenzyme. Now the third important biochemical function is in the metabolism of certain amino acids such as valine, isoleucine, threonine. So I will be highlighting a name of a metabolite form, that is propionyl coenzyme A. So its degradation is also governed by biotin. So see here, the propionyl coenzyme A is degraded to form methyl malonyl coenzyme A. So this all occurs in presence of biotin and carboxylase enzyme. The fourth important part is in the metabolism of leucine, the reaction of crotonyl coenzyme A to glutaconyl coenzyme A is governed by biotin. So see here, in the metabolism of leucine, so how it is affected in metabolism of leucine? A compound known as beta methyl crotonyl coenzyme A it is changed into beta methyl glutaconyl coenzyme A. in presence of carboxylase enzyme, and this is also a biotin dependent reaction. So these are some of the major biochemical functions here of biotin. So you can see how it serves as a coenzyme in these following reactions. Now the other important aspects are the recommended dietary intake. So here we can see The dietary intake of biotin is about 100 to 300 milligrams for adults per day. So it is 100 to 300 milligrams. In fact, biotin is normally synthesized by the intestinal bacteria also. However, to what extent we can say that the synthesized biotin contributes to the body requirement is not clearly known till now. So we have calculated that a dose of 100 to 300 milligrams per day is required. The dietary sources involved, so from the sources where we can obtain this are both animal and plant foods. The rich are liver, kidney, so these are the parts of the animal food, whereas the plant food include tomatoes, grains, and whereas we can say the milk and egg yolk are also rich sources of biotin or vitamin B7. So the deficiency, the symptoms of biotin deficiency include anemia, loss of appetite. So let us see here what are the deficiency symptoms. They are, we can say, anemia, nausea, dermatitis, loss of appetite, glossitis. These are related to the deficiency symptoms of vitamin B7 or biotin. However, the deficiency is quite uncommon since it is well distributed in foods and also supplied by the intestinal bacteria. So the deficiency may however be associated with other causes such as the drug dependent or high consumption of raw eggs. So they may be responsible for the deficiency. So students, I hope now biotin or vitamin B7 is clear to you all. Its chemistry, its structure, we all know that it is a fusion of imidazole and thiophene ring. Then comes the biochemical functions. You can see the 4 important reactions that are governed by the biotin as a coenzyme. And then comes the dietary intake and the deficiency. So I hope now the biotin is clear to you all.